In front of us is a group of tuna basking in the sun. But what they don't know is that the nightmare is approaching slowly. As the saying goes, a person fears fame and a pig fears being strong. The largest one became the target of the hunters. The target soon entered the attack range. One arrow passes and one shot penetrates the soul. The captain immediately pressed the high-voltage electricity button. The tuna was so electrocuted in an instant that even Mom didn't recognize it, until the moment it was towed onto the boat. Only then did the tail show some reactions. But by this time, it was already too late. The size of this fish also shocked the three people, even fatter than the young man beside him. Three people who often exercise. It was almost impossible to pull the tuna onto the ship. Several people were looking at the fish, which was even fatter than themselves. I'm very curious about its size. After measurement, this fish is 111 inches long. This suddenly boosted the confidence of the three people. I think I still have time to catch another tuna. So when I return to Hong Kong at night, be able to earn more money from the acquirers. When everyone was looking for tuna, let's take a look at the scores of all the contestants. Two people have already received more than $10,000 in bonuses. Joe directly left the other several contestants behind. It firmly occupied the first place. And Nico, who just caught a tuna. I chose to change fishing spots in search of new catches. Why give up the original position? Wasn't a tuna just caught there? Forget it. Take a look at Captain Joe of the Red Drum, who is in the first place. Take one's own children out to sea to catch tuna. Joe in his prime. Nowadays, it has even begun to cultivate successors. Let them participate in the fishing of tuna in advance. It seems that the veteran intends to retire. When they arrived at the fishing spot, it was found that a school of fish appeared ahead. This is obviously good news. The presence of small fish means that tuna is about to appear. Joe contacted his assistant, Mark, immediately. Let him start circling above the school of fish. Observe whether there is any tuna showing up. Their luck is indeed good. Mark observed for more than 10 minutes. Then the appearance of tuna was discovered. Tuna come to the school of fish to feed, just like a tiger coming down the mountain. Scare those little fish into panic. After Captain Joe learned the situation through Mark, climb onto the cloud platform immediately and let the two children at the back observe his operation carefully. Don't miss any details. Joe is standing behind the gimbal. Mark also conveyed what he had seen to them. In order to control the old boarding of the ship, get closer to tuna better. Joe ahead has seen the fish clearly. Raise the harpoon in your hand quickly, aimed at the target. Mike's companion pressed the button. Give electric shocks to the tuna. After subduing this fish, Joe and another teammate tied up the tuna and slowly pull it onto the boat. After removing the discharge harpoon, the tuna was measured to be as long as 109 inches. This made everyone very delighted, but Mark reminded everyone not to celebrate in a hurry. There is still plenty of time now. Tuna fishing can continue, but in the face of such a plump fish, they still couldn't hide their excitement. After all, this fish is...
He's fat and round too!
And the competitor Taylor. After learning this news, try to find out their fishing spot, but got nothing. One can only continue to search by oneself at sea. However, they did not gain nothing. There's a basking shark right in front of us. This is the second largest shark in the world. This fish is almost as big as the hull. They know well that today is a good time for fishing. Even this kind of shark, which is extremely lazy on ordinary days. It also came to the sea surface to move around. Then for active creatures like tuna, it is bound to be more active. It wasn't long before they made a discovery. Taylor's 11 o'clock direction. There were quite a few ripples. After careful observation by Doug in the sky, confirmed that it is exactly tuna, and the quantity is close to 10. I didn't notice their approach at all. Obviously, this is the best time for hunting at the moment. Taylor rushed to his combat post quickly. Command teammates to steer the boat closer. Doug in the sky. See them moving faster and faster. Keep reminding to slow down. so as not to disturb the school of fish. When Taylor climbed onto the gimbal, the tuna in front of us is clearly visible. After their electric shock treatment, the tuna lies there quietly. Their cooperation can be described as perfect, especially the team members piloting the ships. When the tuna approaches the hull after being electrocuted, he immediately shifted into reverse gear. Keep a distance between the tuna and the hull. After several people tied up the tuna firmly, open the stern door quickly. Pull it onto the ship. Look at this plump body. The measurement result shows 82 inches. Although it is not as big as the one captured by the red drum bugle, but it's still early, there is still a chance to catch larger fish. Several people from the Pinewood box number. At this moment, my heart is slightly anxious. 2 people have successfully caught tuna. Why has God not favored them for a long time? This made Dylan can't help blaming himself. It seems that bad luck follows closely like a shadow. Make the tuna dare not approach. So he asked his son Emmett, stand on the deck and pray devoutly. I never expected that a miracle would really come. Ripples spread on the sea surface ahead. It seems that there's a group of fish swimming. Emmett came to the driver's seat, confirmed that it is exactly tuna. Emmett, with a face full of excitement, climb up the gimbal quickly. Wait for everyone to create opportunities. Wait to see the figure of the tuna clearly. Emmett raised the harpoon resolutely, and his father Dylan was anxious at the rear, worried that Emmett failed to hit the target. Keep providing guidance. Explain the key points of the operation at the moment. As Dylan steered the boat closer, gaze at the tuna on the sea surface. Emmett is also ready to go. Although Emmett has excellent accuracy, but the luck was slightly less. Failed to stab the tuna. That fish is extremely sensitive. Detect the fluctuations of the sea surface. Dive back to the deep sea quickly. Although the people on the ship did not rebuke, Emmett still felt embarrassed. Forcing a smile, try to act as if nothing happened. Fortunately, Dylan knew the reason well. Emmett is just inexperienced. Just practice more. Back to the red drum and bugle. It's been more than half a day. Their love for the fish on the boat has not diminished at all. The smile on the face has not faded away. Suddenly, Mike found a fish leaping out of the water in the distance. Hurriedly dispatch Mark, who is soaring freely. Go and investigate the situation. Mark flew above the target, confirmed that it is tuna, and just had a big meal. Tuna like this, that is extremely easy to catch, because the tuna is extremely lazy at this time, just like you don't want to move after a meal. When Mike was controlling the boat to approach, Joe also walked toward the cloud platform. This golden opportunity must be seized. Under the careful guidance of Mark and Joe, Mike managed to get the boat close to the tuna. Next comes the time for meticulous operation. Extra caution is needed at this time. After all, a slight mistake. The tuna will flee in terror. However, the schools of fish in the sea would not allow him to do so. They are like vagrants on the street. Waver left and right. But don't underestimate the veteran at the helm. Finally, the tail of the little fish was clearly seen. Joe quickly raised the harpoon. Oh, even Mike, an old hand, makes mistakes sometimes. Although the tuna was successfully electrocuted, but nearly missed this fish. How could it be like this now? He was safely placed on the ship by Joe, but it can't all be blamed on Mike. At that time, the fish suddenly made a sharp turn. Everyone except the main attacker, Joe, didn't react in time. At this time, Luke on the ship measured the tuna. It was discovered that it was as long as 108 inches. Catch 2 big fish within one day. This made Taylor and the others beside them extremely envious. The 2 fish in his hand. It is much larger than all they caught before. After fishing today, fitness expert Nico returned to the port. Find Booba to sell tuna. He looked at the huge fish. I firmly believe that there will be rich rewards this time. After Booba cut off the fishtail meat, it was found that their luck this time was a mixed bag. The quality of the fish meat is not outstanding. It is even slightly inferior. Only the color is acceptable. If it weren't for the sharp increase in demand for tuna in the market, the price of this kind of fish can only be maintained at $10 per pound. However, the situation is completely different now. The price has climbed to $15. After negotiating the unit price, the weight of the fish needs to be measured. After removing the useless parts, this fish still weighs as much as 613 pounds. It brought Nico an income of $9,195. After signing the bill, Nico immediately informed his teammates of the good news. This news excited them very much. And Dylan, who is still at sea, no tuna has been caught so far. But they were not discouraged. Instead, they searched for tuna even harder. Still energetic, Dylan kept teaching Emmett the key points when serving as the main attacker. Captain Joe of the Red Drum. At this moment, a brand new idea emerged. He decided not to return to the port to sell fish anymore. Instead, he was carrying the 2 children on the ship, brought in their impoverished horizons. But before that, 2 more good children should be taken along. After everything is arranged properly, Joe left the port quickly. For the acquirer in the distance, there is no lingering sentiment at all. What on earth is the reason? He still hasn't disclosed it so far. As a black dot appeared in the field of vision and gradually enlarged, it seems to be a whale, and it seems to have died. There are still 2 great white sharks feeding nearby, not to mention children in this scene. Even I haven't witnessed it with my own eyes. One can only salivate through the screen. If you ask me why this is so, that's because I'm also a little tempted. I want to taste the flavor of whales. But at this moment, it carries a beautiful meaning. That is the whale fall, where when a whale falls, all things come to life. After enjoying this grand feast, Joe returned to the port again. He found the acquirer Booba. Fortunately, Booba didn't know what Joe did. Otherwise, one will surely feel sad because of Joe's abandonment. After Booba took the tuna, cut off the fishtail meat quickly, and eliminate the useless parts. The weighing result shows that this tuna weighs up to 601 pounds. Booba examined the fish meat in front of him. It is frankly admitted that the meat quality of this first fish is not good. The color is slightly dull. High fat content. Hardly any advantages. It is all supported by market demand. Only Booba was willing to offer a price of $10 per pound. Even so, Joe still earned $6,010. Next comes the second fish. The weight is 529 pounds. The fish meat shows a bright red color, but there is hardly any fat on the meat slices. Even hard to find. It can be said that the quality is extremely poor. Booba is only willing to purchase it at a price of $9 per pound. So this fish was sold for $4,761. Finally, Joe earned $10,771. Although the income from a single fish is not high, but if there are 2 fish, the situation is quite different. Finally, there is the experienced tailor. He had the foresight to cut off the fish head. It has greatly accelerated the sales speed. However, his fish is the smallest today. I wonder if there will be any highlights. Booba examined the fish in his hand. It indicates that although this fish is the smallest, but the meat quality is the best. He is willing to offer a high price of $18 per pound, although the unit price is the highest in the entire venue. But the weight of the fish is only 230 pounds. Taylor traveled nearly 150 miles today. A large amount of fuel costs and aircraft rental fees were consumed. In the end, only $4,140 were obtained. This made Taylor rather frustrated. However, he still accepted this knot. After all, it's still better than having an Air Force with nothing. When today's fishing is over, Joe, who was already in the first place, now he has completely left everyone behind. Nico couldn't catch up even with horses. That's all for this episode. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next wonderful episode together.